Hello. Hello, Thomas.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today. We'll give one more minute for folks to join, and then we'll start at 5 past the hour. And what we'll do is we'll start off with any new faces that want to introduce themselves.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, everyone. This is my first time joining the tag infrastructure meeting. I'm Rashida, and I'm based in Nigeria. I'm joining from Nigeria, and I'm just excited to be here. I know I went through all the documents of the initiatives we're working on, and it's just really exciting to be here and be a part of what you're doing. Okay, that was awkward.
No awkwardness. Welcome. It's great to meet you, Rashida. Thank you for joining. Um, Is there anyone else that would like to introduce themselves or that's new to the call? All right, I'm going once, I'm going twice, and we'll get started. Okay, let me go ahead and um, I missed the last meeting. Unfortunately, I was out sick, so thank you, Shing, for covering. Um, um, Is there? I see now. I didn't see it before that we moved the docs to Google Docs. Do we want to continue doing it in Google Docs just so it's easier for everyone? Or I'm
Yeah, because
unfamiliar.
I could not, I still could not edit the notes. I think they have not fixed the problem yet. I tried it. You can also give a try. I tried it. It still says that you have to log into this other thing, but not sure how to log into. So yeah, for now, I just
Yeah,
use the Google Doc until
I
that's
think. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry. Yeah, I think the issue is they tried to switch over from GitHub SSO to the LFX, so it's all through the Linux Foundation system that the meetings are through. Um, but I'm not sure. how it still determines who can write into the notes. It's not
I,
clear to me.
I've
Yeah,
also had similar problems accessing notes.
Okay.
yeah, they ask you to log in, sign in through Linux Foundation, but then it's not clear how to sign in there. So
No
I just
worries. What we'll do then is I'm going to we'll just go through the Google Docs that you set up last week. It's much easier. People can suggest and comment still. It makes the most sense, and we'll just proceed that way. What we'll do here is I'll quickly do let's see here. We'll do this, and then feel free to add yourself to the attendees, notes, action items. Let's go ahead. Let me just quickly I'll copy over an agenda. We'll do agenda here. And then we'll do, gosh, I am struggling. So this was from last week's. I'm just going to put it in here. If
are
people
you
have,
sharing your screen?
oh, no, I am not. Thank you. I was so caught up on making sure the docs was working that I almost forgot. Okay, let's try again here. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to change this to pageless. There we go. I'll get rid of that. We'll shorten this up, and that should be easier to view. Okay. Now we are cooking. All right. So I just copied over the agenda just in case we have to recap anything. And then we'll go through our usual agenda initiative updates. And then last but not least, we'll have, please take a look, open topics. Okay. Since I was not here last week, do we want to do a quick recap, Shing, on what I don't know if we need to go over the tag leader election again or the presentation
That
from the
yeah, probably not, right? We already so basically we already know the results. So we have Matthews and Thomas here. Welcome as the newly elected leads. And yeah, we had this short presentation from folks from ZTE. They basically that's the same proposal they sent in the mailing list, and there was already a reply from Antonio, and then we also talked about it. Some comments from folks in the last meeting. Basically, they need to come back and need to answer some of those questions, and they also need to decide whether they want to have this this tier 3 or tier 2 support. Because if they want to have the official thing tier 2, then they actually need to go to Kubernetes 6 release and go through that again. And there is already an existing Kubernetes issue about that, right? So, but if they just want community support tier 3, then it's a little bit different. So they have to get back and tell us exactly what they want to do.
got it. Okay. So then we'll just kind of keep this and we will wait for them to come back. All righty. Moving on, we have the hang on, I'm trying to copy from the old notes here. Let me get situated.
I think I copied it also in the Google Doc as well. If you move down a little bit.
Oh, you did. Look at that. Look at that. I need to learn how to scroll and to read. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just move this up here. And then we'll move all this over so it's a little bit cleaner. Okay. So looks like we're still, is there any update from Alex on?
Actually, yeah, I actually got an update. So Alex added diagram, he reviewed it, added some comments, and then so next step is want to get this published as well. So
Cool.
I will submit a PR soon and then
Okay.
get that done. Yeah.
Awesome. And has reviewed it. PR to review. Okay. And this one is I think we can close this one out. It's been
Oh,
published.
yes. Yes, this is already published. Yes.
Okay. So we are gonna close this out, merged and published. So our first initiative, folks, has been completed. I don't think. Perfect. Awesome. It's a great feeling. Infrastructure lifecycle. We are getting some movement on this. Thank you to Thomas and Mazout and Lawrence. Thomas, do you want to go ahead and kind of give a brief update on where we're at so far?
I think in the last weeks, Mesut knows more about it than me, right?
Okay. Mazout?
We have special or separate Google Doc, and then I have added some table there, and then the responsibilities, some dates, etc. And you can find all information on the page, on the paper. And as I see, Lawrence has started to write something, and then I seen the changes, and I've started as well, and in my opinion, I finished my parts, but we are working on it, and you can find the link in the chat. What else? Yeah, we need contributions. Yeah, that's summary. And you can write your name and then some other information on the table, and start to write anything anytime. Yeah, that's all actually.
Okay. Do you have a link? Is it the same Google Doc, or is there a different? Because there's one here from the original outline. I don't think it's the same one. Is there another one that has that?
No, it is not. It's not. I mean, just a second.
Yeah, if you have a quick link, I'll just throw it in the notes here.
Sure. I will share, but where is the link? Thomas, do you have link now? I mean, I can't find it now. Where is my chat? No, it's not.
I just pasted it.
Sorry? Okay, you
I
have
pasted
found
it
it.
in the chat.
Okay, great. Yeah, this paper. And then I have added, like I said, the table. We will delete it. It's just a temporary thing. And I have written my name, executive summary, introduction, and pattern and landscape. And I have added something. And as you see, there are some chapters, foundation, 3 foundations or 4 foundations, and 3 use cases and conclusion, etc. And there is a question on right side. The issues is different than our page, our paper now. The question is that correct or not? I wasn't sure. And there is another comments on the right side. You see that, and yeah, and Lawrence has added something. Maybe he can explain us something. That's the history. That's the story actually.
Yeah, I've added a couple of changes here and there. My basic outline for DSL versus programming language with respect to declarative infrastructure. Um, I don't know what we want in terms of citations or the style of papers, so my next task is going to be looking at previous white papers that the CNCF has put out so that I can see kind of align my style with what's expected.
Okay, perfect. So for anyone who wants to contribute, feel free to just claim a section and contribute. Otherwise, it seems to be having good progress. I think we're aiming to have this done hopefully before November. I think we should have enough time there. Any questions from folks about the Infrastructure Lifecycle Initiative?
Hey, Dylan.
Yes.
I mean, it's looking good. I think just my question is, your target length is 20 pages. Wasn't there some recommendation to be within 5 or 10 pages?
I think the recommendation was not kind of similar to, it's not the length so much as it is the recommendation to have it kind of split up. We did the Xing, I think we did the same thing for the storage and AI white paper. It was long, but we kind of broke it up into kind of separate briefs and pages, more easily consumable rather than having just a single long paper.
Okay. No, I guess as long as you guys are comfortable, and or just a kind of a question from the past sessions.
All righty. Any other questions before we move on? All right, great. We'll go ahead and proceed. Project review updates. This is a project for under the TOC. Previously, tags used to be responsible for handling the reviews within their own, like during these meetings. But unfortunately, people giving presentations and us trying to do reviews took up essentially all of the meeting time and suffocated a lot of the other initiative work. So it's been, since the reboot, it's been moved out into a separate subproject dedicated under the TOC, and representatives from each tag are encouraged to join, as well as people from the community and end users to help review projects that are either proposing to join Sandbox as a new project or moving levels. So one of the ways this is done is there's a separate meeting and a separate Slack channel for this project. But you are encouraged, if you are new and you haven't done a review before, you are a great candidate for doing a project review. We intentionally want people who are not familiar with specific projects or coming in with maybe a fresh perspective when we review these projects, because the intention is to understand how mature these projects are and the criteria for them to just the everyday user. So folks that are maybe like myself as a chair, I'm familiar with the process, I'm familiar with projects. Sometimes it's easy for us to kind of find where information is about a project or where to look. And we want that fresh perspective to make sure that the review is done in an honest way. So if I pull up the board here real quick, let me find it. This one. So the way this works is there's a board, and I'll make sure it's included in the notes here, that is used to kind of assess or provide an overall state of all reviews. What you'll see in here is sometimes different projects will open an application in the TOC repo, depending on the level. And then when they're tagged with a label, that will open either a governance review, a technical review, or sometimes even a security review. And folks are encouraged to kind of come in here, and anything that's in pending review, active DD, DD stands for due diligence. This is the process that TOC member does when they review a project. They're doing the due diligence. And the different reviews, technical, governance, security, kind of summarize and roll up into that final due diligence review for a project before the TOC votes on whether a project moves levels. So you're essentially informing a TOC member on, hey, here's how the project's governance is. Here's how the project's technical maturity is. And it allows this process to move a lot quicker than performing a review. The intention is not to fix things in the project. It's just to identify where there's gaps, maybe things that are not clear or maybe easily found, and to bring that to the attention of the maintainers and to the attention of the TOC member. So that way the TOC can work with the maintainers to address whether or not, oh, this is not something that would be blocking for you to moving levels, or this is something that you need to address before you can move from maybe sandbox incubating or even joining as a sandbox project.
So in other words, what we would be doing is not making the decisions ourselves, but facilitating the decisions for the TOC.
Correct. That is correct. So, for example, if I come into a lot of where these reviews live right now is in the TOC repo. So if you come into the repo under projects, you see a folder for each project. I just recently did Kyvernos for their graduation. You can see in here there's a governance review, a security assessment, and a tech review. And then the TOC member also puts the due diligence in here. And so you can kind of come in here where Karina is the one who conducted the due diligence. She kind of lays out all the things. She links from the project review. I did the general technical assessment, and she kind of pulled up all the gaps that I found in the assessment, and then they talk to adopters and stuff and the criteria, and then you can see the final assessment from the TOC. So like what I did here with this general technical review, if I pull this up, oops, no, that's not the right one. If I go back actually to here and I click on this, you can see that this is kind of what I did here. There is a template in another part of the TOC folder where you can kind of follow. But in here, I just kind of went through and said, okay, does this project have a roadmap and planning process? And I just basically says primary planning appears to be maintained in GitHub. Regular community meetings is documented. It's not meant for you to kind of go in and fix things. It's just to say, yep, think about it like you're checking off a checkbox on a checklist. And if I couldn't find things, I kind of marked them with like, oh, to do. This is stuff that needs to be kind of done. And it gets all the way down into like with technical reviews, there's day 0, day 1, and day 2 for sandbox, incubated, and graduated. So as projects mature, there's higher levels of criteria that we expect. So like for graduated projects, we kind of get into observability and scalability, reliability, dependencies, compliance. A lot of stuff in here you can see like to do, document recommending alert thresholds. I didn't really, this and you can see there's a lot of to-dos in here. But Karina reviewed it and said, okay, this doesn't block. Kyverno meets the criteria for graduated, and these are just nice to haves that the project should probably address to help the community. So these reviews really shouldn't take much time at all. Maybe it does if you're a little bit new and you're trying to kind of find your way around a project, which is fine. But the basic thing we really want to key in on is that the review is not meant for you to kind of go out and spend too much time. If you're having trouble finding something, mark it and move on, because think about time boxing it, because if it's not easy to find for you, it's not going to be easy to find for the end user, even if the information is available somewhere. That's just something for the project to work on and improve within their own documentation. So any other questions about project reviews? And I'll quickly come back to the TOC repo. All the examples is under this TOC subproject folder in the TOC repo. There's a project reviews subproject. And in here, you can kind of see, here's all the governance reviews. Here, the general technical questions is where the example that I used for the tech review in here, and all the things that you're asked to kind of describe or explain or look for. That's essentially how you get started. You don't need to ask for permission to essentially sign up for a project. If I come back to the under projects, if I go back to the board here under project reviews, feel free to comment and grab one. There's a couple over here in the pending review. What's the difference between new pending review and active DD pending review? Active DDs are kind of the priority, because these are ones that are actively picked up by a TOC member, and they're awaiting a review. And so these ones are the ones that we kind of need to get done first before some of these other projects have applications, but maybe hasn't been picked up by the TOC yet, and can kind of not as big of a priority. But these ones need a review done because it's holding up the actual due diligence process and making a decision for our project. So if you're new, it's a great way. Go ahead and put your name on it. Even if you're you can have someone shadow you. I'm more than happy to shadow you and help review folks that want to do this for the first time. Any of the other tag members or folks that are part of the sub-project are happy to assist as well. And kind of growing the contributors for the sub-project. So they meet Thursdays. I think there's actually, let me check my calendar real quick. There isn't one this week, but there is one next week. So it's bi-weekly, just like our tag meetings. But it's the bi-weekly schedule is on an off week this week. So next Thursday will be 11 a.m. Eastern is when they meet. The meetings are on the CNCF LFX calendar, just like the tag meetings. And I will provide all the links for folks to check it out. There's also a Slack channel as well. If you have any questions or you need to have a conversation async in between the meetings. All right. Any other questions about project reviews? Great. Okay, we're at the half of the hour. I will happily open the floor for open topics, and, calls for please take a look at this. Feel free to just raise your hand and speak up.
Just a question. Should we talk about the panel for KubeCon USA?
Yes. So let me go ahead and pull that real quick. I know Alexa had offered to do slides. I don't know how much slides we would have or need for a panel. But I didn't really have much opinions about what the panel should entail too much. Kashif and I did more of a session talk the past two KubeCons just to kind of, introduce the tag since the reboot. Who are we? What's our domain? What is our current initiatives? Very kind of dry and high level. And so this year I figured a panel would be better to try and kind of get all the tech leads up there, get the co-chairs up there, and kind of promote kind of a discussion-based talk around what is happening in the infrastructure space, especially with kind of this prominence of AI workloads kind of changing the space and how we think about maintaining and provisioning not only existing commodity hardware, but a lot of these new GPU workloads and chips. So what I'll do real quick is I'm going to, I don't think it's public yet, but what I'll do is in the notes, I will put, I'm going to put what I submitted for the description for the panel. And then maybe that can kind of guide the discussion about what we feel maybe we can plan some questions for the tag, as well as having time for open questions throughout the talk.
The other question is, there is a issue. I send it with file in chat, and should we close this issue or it is still?
No, it stays open for the life of the initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So what I can do is I can update the original description because it has changed in the year since we initially proposed it. I think Kashif did comment about closing it, but I think that was a misunderstanding that the PR merging is not necessarily meaning that we've merged the brief or the white paper, but that we are kind of making progress on it. So I think it was just a misunderstanding. This should not close. This should stay open until we have finished and published the white paper.
Oh, okay.
I will make a comment on that just to make sure.
Yeah. And there is another PR, and I think he waits for an answer. I said in the chat. But like I said, we are working on it. We have a special Google Doc.
Mm-hmm.
But he wanted to add something, but like I said, and we are working on it. It is not a great way, but yeah. Because I have opened a PR and then it was merged. Where is that?
Yeah, since it's something that is happening, do we want to merge this, or do we want to encourage him to move the content, or do we want to move the content to the Google Doc for him?
Yeah, that's the question.
Okay, this one makes sense. Yeah, let's add this. Oh, I approved it twice. Okay. Oh. All right, we'll merge that one. This one, yeah, we'll merge this one. And then just to kind of, and then we have your section about the work ongoing with the Google Doc. And then what I would recommend then is I'll take some time to copy this over into the doc and then attribute him or them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alrighty.
Thanks.
Not a problem. Any other open topics, questions, comments?
Sorry, I have a
Go ahead.
question about this. Is it that there is a change on the GitHub repository that hasn't been copied to the Google Docs, or the Google Docs is the updated?
The former. We were originally when we originally were working on this, we had decided to try and do the collaboration in GitHub, but because
Mhm.
it's in the TOC repo, it's a little bit difficult to do the collaboration because not everyone has permissions, and you have to wait for merges, and it's a little bit more hindering to the
Mhm.
actual collaborative process. So we've shifted it to the Google Doc here.
Okay.
But I think there's some confusion where if folks see if we go to the folder, if we pull up the file, and then we go to the folder, the sections have been broken up in this folder
Yeah.
already in terms of kind of trying to contribute there. So that has been pulled out and copied out into here, thanks
Okay.
to Tom and Masood. And so we are going to have the collaborations happening here, just like we kind of did for the storage papers. So it happens
Okay.
much more organically and quicker. And then once it's all finished, we'll do one last PR to the TOC repo to actually say that here's the final review that we need to do. It's just easier this way.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. Anything else before I let you all go for the remainder of the day? And if not, you feel free to, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So lastly would be just reaching out. I'll check out the contributing to the project. You said
Yep.
it's easier for new people, and I'll just reach out if I do need a shadow, if I'm quite confused.
Yes. Yeah, feel
Okay.
free. I'm going to actually, what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to put the Slack channel
Oh
here
yes,
as
please.
well. It is project. Oh, no, I have it backwards. It is CNCF project reviews. And then the meetings. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
And lastly would be the same. Back to the. I saw your message on Slack where you mentioned, oh, it's still ongoing. That's the um Sustainable AI Cloud Environments paper, but I think it's under the operational resilience tag. I'm not sure, or is it under?
Yeah, it was under kind of both. The actual, maybe it's this one. That one was closed, even though we were. Let me just see here. I'll do another quick. Yeah. I posted. This is the original issue, 1675. Let me just kind of throw it in here. What is it? Cloud native AI sustainability papers. Oops. Let's do that. And then this is because this is the original initiative. Even though the issue with this one has been that the initiative was created prior to the tag reboot. So it kind of slipped in. It came from a separate working group that didn't survive the reboot. The original issue was under tag runtime, which that tag doesn't exist anymore. So it just kind of fell off. It sits in between both the operational resilience tag and the infrastructure tag. But there was some confusion with the TOC because there was a PR, right? Yeah, this one, 2041, that they submitted. Xing and Nate reviewed it. And then, so you can see Xing's comments in here, but then Angela, made a comment. It's not clear which tag has worked with you. Please open this under a tag after tag chairs and tech leads have reviewed. And then closed it. So there was just some confusion because we had already reviewed it. And then Angela basically told them to go to a tag, which they already came to, tag infrastructure. So we're asking them to reopen it again because it was kind of closed in error.
Okay. So that means I could still, because I've seen the docs, I could still make comments to like additions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You should be able to. We're just not we're more of kind of the facilitators. We're not the owners of the initiative. So it's hard to kind of give you kind of a clear answer on that. And I haven't, unfortunately, I think the two, I think it's Maria Sol and who's the other one? Bam. I think they've gotten busy, unfortunately. Because I haven't heard anything back from them yet, which happens in open source.
Yeah. So wait, going forward, what does that mean to push this?
Basically, we need them as the initiative owners to kind of resubmit the pull request. So that way we can kind of reestablish the review process. And basically, essentially what you're trying to do, you're trying to provide comments, you're trying to review, and along with Xing's original comments. And then once that review is complete, then we can kind of proceed with, okay, how does this paper then proceed to be published?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All righty. Any other final topics or questions? Anything at all? All right, folks, I'm going to call it then. You all have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week, and hope to talk to you all again soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.